What's going on, everybody? It's FREEDO here for your Overwatch. 3 DPS is one of the most effective team comps right now in the meta, and I think you're going to be seeing it a lot more in Season 4. What makes it so good? How do you have to play it? Let's break it all down here today. First and foremost, Ana no longer can sustain multi-tank the way she used to. To be honest, I thought multi-tank was a bit overrated anyway. It seemed like every team wanted to run it in every situation, even if you slowly walked into sim spam, but that's a separate topic altogether. Multi-tank was already weak to multiple angles of attack, and now it's even weaker because amp healing from Ana's biotic grenade simply just does less. Meaning that the team fights that used to last much longer now start to crumble under your fingertips while playing multiple DPS. Now, one of the key factors to multi-DPS comp is very restrained tank play, because you're going to have one tank. What that tank player wants to do is to basically be playing closer to the way your Genji and Tracer are playing, sort of poking from the outside, letting your range damage dealer set up some damage, and then when you find characters to pounce, then go for them. It isn't a simply over-sustain playstyle. It is a wait and burst into the team fight, winning it quickly playstyle. In multi-tank, two teams would just blob together, spamming randomly towards each other almost. Tons of healing going on. Multi-DPS, on the other hand, is a much more fast and fraggy playstyle. What can we put into a multi-DPS comp? Well, I think one of the best ways is to have a range damage dealer and then two cleanup DPS. Tracer and Genji are kind of the best because they have some of the best self-sustaining abilities with their massive mobility, because they can be dodging things. Genji can get to the high ground, attack from different angles, hit reflect. Tracer has recall. Both of them can keep themselves alive quite well while they're taking duels and running out in open space. They don't have to be hiding behind a Rhine shield to stay alive. Whereas characters that are really slow, like McCree, Ana, Zenyatta, things like that, once they're out in the open in a duel, they don't have a lot of options to them. It's like hit shots or die. That's basically the way that works. So ideally, I think some combination of that can work. You also might consider 3 flankers if you want. It's very important, though, that you take multiple angles of attack, because squaring up against the death ball is a no-no. You don't want to be doing that, because you don't have the big Rhine shield there to protect you, to pin their Rhine out of the way, or to block an Earth Shatter. Yes, you have Bubble, and with a new patch, Bubble will last longer, but you don't want to be setting yourself up to be Graviton Surged or Earth Shattered or anything like that. Split around everybody and take those duels there. So you could probably theorize that you can pop in a Soldier instead of the Widowmaker or Pharah player. Something from range, McCree possibly. He's a little slow and can't really run away like Soldier can, but potentially that. For the flanker roles, you can envision Reaper, Sombra, things like that. Stay alive and just fit into this team comp and work together. And that's one of the most marvelous things about it. And the pro side of things, this would be determined like a skillful comp, because it is. There's so many skilled heroes in it. You have to have the skills to play those heroes. But interestingly enough, in matchmaking, this team comp is my favorite thing to run because it requires the least amount of coordination, actually. Because as long as everyone does their role, you don't really have to set up so much for the other player. Whereas if you're playing in a death ball, if your Rhine is out of sync with your Ana, she gets split apart, all of a sudden Rhine thinks it's time to take the point, and your slow characters that need that Rhine shielding to be in the exact right place get split apart, well, all of a sudden that team fight is completely wasted. You're going to get wrecked. You needed great coordination to make that play work, whereas if I'm Pharah and we have a good Genji Tracer and we're all just doing our jobs, there's sort of a natural cohesion that builds that you don't really have to plan ahead of time, because you're all sort of on the same page. I'm sure all of us know what it's like to be playing behind your Reinhardt, and that Rhine to make a decision that you didn't expect to happen, or they simply just make a mistake and then gets earth shattered and everybody on your team's down and the whole fight's over. Well, if you're playing triple DPS, you're not looking to be hiding behind anything in particular, though you will be using your Winston's bubbles when they're in the right place to help navigate the map. You're not expecting for abilities to not hit you by your teammates eating them for you. You're not going to be standing behind your Rhine, then surprised when you get earth shattered. You're going to be up in the air or on a flank route or behind them or whatever, all swarming around, making it really difficult for the enemy to set up simple engagements. They're going to be strained and they're going to be tested. Can they hit their shots quick enough before your multiple angles of attack wrecks them in the face? And more oftentimes than not, a team in matchmaking trying to play a team comp that requires more team coordination than individual play is likely to lose out to this. Now, I will say what's very important is that you have a very good tank player. It's best to probably have a Winston here, because popping a bubble to isolate squishy targets is one of the best ways to go about fighting this way. You can think of a Winston bubble almost like a Mei wall, that's like an environmental zoning tool. that blocks Ana's line of sight from healing, as well as stops your Pharah from getting shot from McCree and does all sorts of awesome things. But it's important that that Winston is willing to take it on the chin once in a while and knows when to fully commit and potentially even die to finish off a frag, because trading that Winston out early for a key target while keeping your DPS alive can help the late fight be entirely in their favor, because if you take out, let's say, McCree and his flashbang, as the fight progresses, what is going to stop the Tracer? If Tracer can't get stunned, she can almost keep herself alive forever. Same thing with hit scans on Pharah, same difference. So it takes a good tank player and DPS players that can play their roles good enough to sort of gel with each other as they swarm around the map. So don't be afraid of the multi-DPS comp, folks. I think it's incredibly underrated, and it's time for multi-tank to go away. I think we're back in a world of 2-2-2 with flexing out the tank pick to possibly a third DPS, or maybe a tech role, be that Symmetra May, a builder, things like that, rather than the default being multi-tank, possibly flexing out a DPS pick or having quad tank. And thank goodness for that, because that wasn't a very skillful way to play, was it? Nor was it very fun. Now we're out in the open space playing an FPS game again. Guys, what do you think about this? Are you excited about damage being back in the game again? I know I am. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. It really does help us out. Subscribe for more, because we upload each and every day. So you're going to want to hit the bell icon so you join the notification squad. Down in the description, you can check out our Discord server where you can find friends to pair up with. You can find that Winston main to do all that dirty work tanking for you on the triple DPS comp. Also, follow us on Twitter where we tweet out updates, cool clips, and ramblings about the game. And our Twitch stream, where we've recently changed to doing 3 dedicated days a week. So we're gonna check that out. Gonna be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So tomorrow, come check it out. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.